Okay, so get this. For this deep dive, you guys sent in a documentary all about The Secret.
Oh, interesting.
It's this whole concept that claims to, like, unlock happiness and health and wealth.
Okay.
Like, all the good stuff, right?
Yeah.
We're talking about, like, manifesting your dream life, basically. And it's all laid out in this YouTube documentary.
Yeah.
Pretty wild, huh?
Yeah, it is wild.
Yeah.
And it's interesting how accessible this information is.
Right.
You'd think, like, a secret to such incredible things would be a bit more,
hidden away or something.
elusive.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But hey, maybe that's part of the secret itself, right? It's
Right.
all about being open to receiving, right? So for those who might not be totally familiar, the documentary centers around this idea called the law of attraction.
Okay.
It's basically the belief that, like, attracts, like, but on a deeper level. The level of, like, thoughts and feelings, not just, like, your actions,
Yeah, and they don't hold back on the implications. Like,
Oh, they don't.
the documentary claims that whatever you focus your thoughts and emotions on,
Yeah.
you're essentially, like, drawing into your reality.
Yeah, you're putting it out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that means, obviously, like, good thoughts attract good experiences.
Right.
But, conversely, dwelling on the negative can bring more of that into your life, too.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a magnet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They even go so far as to say thoughts become things,
Oh, wow.
which is a pretty bold statement.
It is a bold statement.
I mean, they use this example of a guy named Robert, who was facing a lot of negativity in his life.
Yeah.
He was experiencing a lot of, like, homophobic harassment at work and in his personal life.
Oh, wow.
And it just seemed like things kept getting worse and worse for him.
Yeah.
Like one thing after another.
Yeah. What's fascinating is how they frame Robert's situation.
Okay.
They argue that by focusing so much on resisting the negativity, he was inadvertently putting even more energy into it.
Oh, interesting.
Almost like he was unintentionally attracting more of what he didn't want.
So it's like
Yeah.
fighting fire with fire,
Exactly.
but you just end up with a bigger fire?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like you have to shift your focus onto something else.
Yes.
Yeah.
Totally.
Okay.
But then Robert has this aha moment
Okay.
where he realizes he needs to shift his focus.
Okay.
He starts concentrating on what he does want.
Yeah.
Acceptance, respect,
Right.
success.
Positives.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And according to the documentary, his entire life transforms.
Wow.
The harassment stops.
Really?
His career takes off and he finds genuine happiness.
Wow. That's pretty powerful.
It is powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But how do we make that shift, right?
Right.
From negativity to positivity?
Well, the documentary delves into how feelings are key indicators of what we're attracting.
Okay.
You know how sometimes, like, you stub your toe first thing in the morning
Yeah.
and it's like the whole day just goes downhill from there?
Yes. Oh my God.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like one little thing and then it just snowballs.
It's like a ripple effect.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that initial negative feeling
Yeah.
creates a ripple effect.
Totally.
And attracts more things to feel bad about.
Yeah. Oh, I feel that.
So the documentary really emphasizes maintaining positive emotions as a way to attract positive outcomes.
So instead of letting that stub toe ruin your day, you got to find a way to, like,
Yeah,
shake it off and focus on the good stuff.
totally.
Yeah.
And they actually go a step further
Okay.
by offering like a 3-step process
Oh, okay.
for manifesting your desires.
All right.
They call it ask, believe, receive.
Okay, so it's like ordering from a cosmic menu or something.
It kind of is.
Yeah. What's the deal with these steps?
So the ask part is all about being crystal clear about what you want.
Okay.
They suggest writing it down in the present tense,
Okay.
as if it's already yours.
So no more vague wishes.
No more vague wishes.
You got to be specific.
Be specific.
Write it down like it's a done deal.
Done deal. Yeah.
Okay, I like it.
So imagine the universe is like
Yeah.
a giant catalog
Okay,
and you're placing your order.
got it.
Yeah.
Okay, what about believe?
So that's where things get really interesting.
Okay.
The documentary emphasizes cultivating unwavering faith,
Okay.
a deep trust that what you desire is already on its way, even if you can't see it yet.
So it's like shifting from a place of,
Yeah.
I hope this happens, to
Yeah.
a knowingness of, like, this is already mine.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And then the receive part
Okay.
involves feeling the emotions you would feel
Yeah.
if you already had what you wanted.
Right.
So if
Yeah.
it's a new car you're after,
Okay.
imagine yourself driving it, feeling the leather seats, smelling that new car smell.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I can get behind that.
Yeah.
But what if my mind keeps reminding me that I don't actually have that car yet?
Well, that's where the power of visualization comes in.
Oh.
They talk about this amazing example of Olympic athletes who use a technique called visual motor rehearsal.
Okay.
Basically, they mentally rehearse their events.
Right.
And studies show that the same muscles fire.
What?
In the same sequence when they visualize as when they actually perform.
So just by imagining an action, you can create a physical effect in your body?
That's what they're saying.
Whoa, that's wild.
It is pretty wild.
So are they saying we can apply that to anything we want to achieve?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. So the documentary argues that if you can convince your mind that your desired outcome is already real, you can actually accelerate its manifestation.
Okay.
So that's where consistent visualization comes in. It's not just daydreaming.
Right.
It's about engaging all your senses.
Okay.
And truly feeling the emotions.
Got it.
Of already having what you want.
Okay, I'm starting to get the picture here.
Yeah.
But it sounds like there's more to it than just visualization.
Right, there is. They also highlight the importance of gratitude.
Oh, yeah.
As a powerful tool.
Yeah.
For attracting more good things into your life.
I've heard about that.
Yeah.
It's all about focusing on what you're grateful for.
Mm-hmm.
Even the little things, right?
Even the little things.
Good to having food.
Yeah. They suggest starting each day by listing things you're grateful for.
Okay.
Whether it's a warm bed,
a
delicious cup of coffee,
right,
or the simple fact that you can see and hear.
Yeah, those are good things.
Yeah.
Okay, I remember they shared a story about a gratitude rock.
Oh, yeah, the gratitude rock.
What is that all about?
That's one of my favorite parts. Okay. It's about this guy who was going through a really rough patch. He decided to carry around a rock in his pocket.
Okay.
And every time he touched it, he would think of something he was grateful for.
So it's like a physical reminder to focus on the positive.
Yeah, physical reminder.
Okay.
And apparently this simple practice had a profound impact on his life.
Wow.
He started noticing all these positive changes.
Really?
And he even inspired others to adopt the gratitude rock idea.
Interesting.
It actually sparked a charitable movement.
Oh, wow. That's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool.
This is simple rock leading to all that positive change.
Yeah.
It really shows how powerful a shift in focus can be.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And speaking of shifting focus.
Yeah.
The documentary doesn't shy away from addressing a desire many people have.
Okay.
Attracting wealth and abundance.
Now we're talking.
I know, right?
What kind of insights do they offer on that front?
Well, they give some specific visualization techniques.
Okay.
Like imagining checks arriving in the mail instead of bills.
Instead of bills, okay.
Yeah. And they tell this story.
Okay.
About a man who manifested a $100,000 business idea.
Whoa.
After consistently visualizing a $100,000 bill.
So it's about training your mind to see yourself as already wealthy.
Yeah.
Even if your bank account doesn't reflect it yet.
Exactly.
Okay.
They emphasize replacing thoughts of lack and scarcity with thoughts of abundance.
Right.
It's about believing that there's more than enough to go around.
Yeah.
And that you deserve to receive it.
Okay, so it's not just about wanting more money.
Right.
It's about cultivating a mindset of wealth.
Yes.
And believing in your ability to attract it.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
They also touch upon how this all plays out in relationships.
Okay.
How we can attract love and improve our existing connections using the law of attraction.
Okay.
Now, that's something I think we can all relate to.
Totally.
Who doesn't want more love in their life?
Right. Exactly.
And they make this really important point about self-love being the foundation for attracting healthy relationships.
That makes sense. You can't expect someone else to love you if you don't love yourself first, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. And they even tell this story about an art director who was unintentionally attracting loneliness into his life.
Oh.
He was painting these gorgeous but melancholic images of women who seemed to be rejecting connection.
Okay.
And guess what? His love life mirrored that same theme of isolation.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So it's like his art was almost a visual representation of his subconscious beliefs.
Yeah, his subconscious beliefs about relationships.
Oh, wow. That's kind of trippy.
It is trippy.
But then he realized he needed to shift his focus.
Okay.
Okay, so what did he do?
He began visualizing what he did want in a relationship.
Okay.
And he even started painting images that reflected love and connection.
Okay, so he literally changed his art.
He changed his art.
Wow.
Yeah.
And does he find love?
According to the documentary, yes.
Really?
Yeah.
So his love life completely transformed.
Completely transformed.
Wow, that's really interesting.
It is.
It shows how our subconscious beliefs can manifest in our relationships.
Yeah.
And how shifting those beliefs can lead to real change.
Real change, yeah.
So what other insights do they offer for improving relationships?
Well, they talk about the importance of focusing on what you appreciate about your partner. Instead of dwelling on their flaws, it's about consciously choosing to see the good.
Right.
Instead of constantly complaining.
Yeah, it's like that, attracts principle, right?
Yeah, right?
If you're focused on the negative,
yeah,
you're likely to experience more conflict, dissatisfaction.
Totally.
But if you focus on the positive, if you appreciate the things that your partner is doing, you're more likely to create a harmonious, fulfilling relationship.
Exactly. It's a powerful reminder that we have a choice in how we perceive and respond
for sure.
to our partners.
Yeah, that's good.
And this all ties back to the core message
that
our thoughts and feelings are incredibly powerful.
They really are.
Yeah,
and the documentary takes this concept even further by exploring the mind-body connection and the potential to heal through thought.
Interesting.
So they're saying that we don't just stop at attracting wealth and love. They're talking about healing our bodies with our minds.
They use the term dis-ease to emphasize a body that's not at ease.
Interesting. So they're suggesting that our mental and emotional state directly impacts our physical health.
Directly impacts it, yeah.
Interesting.
We share some remarkable stories of people who claim to have healed themselves from serious illnesses.
Oh, wow.
Through positive thinking, laughter, and gratitude.
I'm curious to hear about these stories. What do they say?
One of the most striking examples is a woman who claims to have healed from breast cancer.
Wow.
In just 3 months.
Oh, my God.
And she says she did it without traditional medical treatment.
What?
Just using the power of her mind, positive emotions.
Wow.
And a deep belief in her body's ability to heal.
Okay, I imagine some people are going to find those claims pretty controversial.
They are.
Yeah.
It's important to approach these stories with a balanced perspective.
Right.
While the power of the mind is undeniable,
it's
crucial to seek medical advice and treatment.
Yeah, of course.
When dealing with serious health conditions.
We don't want to give the impression that positive thinking alone can cure all ailments.
Exactly.
Right.
But it's still fascinating to consider the potential of our thoughts to influence our physical well-being.
Yeah, I'm really interested to hear more about this.
Yeah, it definitely raises some intriguing questions.
Yeah, it does.
About the mind-body connection.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right, so we've covered a lot of ground here.
Yeah, we have.
From attracting wealth and love to healing our bodies.
It's a lot.
But I imagine encountering all this information about the secret can feel like a bit overwhelming at first.
Right. It can be a lot to take in.
It's like, is this real?
Yeah.
It's natural to have doubts and wonder, is this really possible?
Right.
Can I really manifest my desires through thought alone?
Totally. Yeah. And they actually address that in the documentary.
Okay.
They acknowledge that encountering this concept can be a lot to take in.
So how do they deal with the skeptics?
Okay, well, they talk about the importance of challenging limiting beliefs.
Okay.
Those I can't thoughts that hold us back.
Right.
They encourage viewers to replace I can't with I can.
Okay.
And to believe in their own potential to create change.
So it's about rewiring our thinking.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Rewiring our thinking, getting rid of those self-sabotaging beliefs.
Yeah, those negative thought patterns.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And they share this incredible story.
Okay.
About a man who recovered from paralysis.
Whoa.
After a plane crash.
What?
He attributes his recovery.
Wow.
To the power of his mind.
Wow.
His unwavering belief that he would walk again.
That's pretty inspiring.
It really is.
Yeah.
His story is a testament to the human spirit's resilience.
Yeah.
And the potential of our minds to overcome
even
seemingly impossible obstacles.
I mean, that's pretty amazing.
It is amazing.
To think that we're often capable of much more than we think.
Way more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I imagine it's not always easy to stay positive and focused.
No, it's not.
On what we want, right?
Right.
Especially when life throws us those curveballs.
It throws a lot of curveballs.
It does, yeah.
Yeah. And the documentary acknowledges that.
Okay.
They talk about this concept of resistance.
Okay.
And how it can actually hinder our manifestation efforts.
Okay, so what's this resistance thing all about?
So they suggest that resisting something,
okay,
even something negative, can inadvertently give it more energy.
Oh, interesting.
And make it persist.
Okay.
They use the example of anti-war movements.
Okay.
And how, by focusing on what they don't want, war, they might actually be contributing to the problem.
Oh, that's an interesting perspective.
It is an interesting perspective.
So they're saying we should focus on what we do want.
Yeah.
Peace, instead of dwelling on what we're trying to avoid.
Exactly. It's about aligning our energy with the outcome we desire.
Right.
Rather than giving power to the problem.
So instead of being anti-war, be pro-peace.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a subtle but powerful shift.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Wow, this is all really thought-provoking.
It is thought-provoking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder how much of our reality we're shaping with our thoughts and feelings, both consciously and unconsciously.
Exactly.
But I imagine a lot of people might struggle with the idea of manifesting abundance, especially if they've been conditioned to believe in scarcity.
Right. That fear of scarcity is a common obstacle.
Yeah, it is.
But the documentary addresses that head on.
Okay.
They reassure viewers that there's enough for everyone.
Okay.
They claim that the belief in scarcity is a lie.
Wow.
And that the universe is a source of infinite abundance.
So instead of competing for limited resources, we should be embracing the idea that there's enough abundance to go around for everyone.
Yes, they argue that as people pursue their unique desires, there's no need for competition.
Yeah.
Because everyone's wants are different.
Right.
There's enough for everyone to manifest their dreams.
That's a really empowering message.
It is empowering.
Yeah, it encourages us to release our fears of lack.
Yeah.
And embrace the abundance that's available to us.
Absolutely.
But how do we actually go about doing that?
That's a great question.
How do we shift from a scarcity mindset to an abundance mindset?
Well, that's something the documentary explores in more depth.
Okay.
They offer a lot of practical tools and techniques.
Okay. So it's not just about believing in abundance. It's about taking practical steps.
Yes.
To cultivate that mindset.
Exactly.
What kind of tools do they suggest?
Well, one of the key things they emphasize is the importance of gratitude. They suggest keeping a gratitude journal where you write down all the things you're thankful for each day, even the seemingly small things like having a roof over your head or a warm meal to eat.
Yeah, that makes sense. When you focus on what you already have, it shifts your perspective from lack to abundance, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like training your mind to see the abundance that's already present in your life, which then helps you attract even more. They also talk about the power of visualization, which we touched on earlier.
Yeah, that idea of visualizing your desires as if they've already manifested really stuck with me. It's like you're creating a blueprint in your mind for the universe to follow.
That's a great analogy, and they suggest making this a regular practice. Spend a few minutes each day visualizing yourself living the life you desire.
Yeah.
See it, feel it, and believe it. The more vivid and emotionally charged your visualization, the more powerful it becomes.
Okay, so gratitude and visualization are two key tools for cultivating an abundance mindset. What else do they suggest?
They also talk about the importance of following your bliss. They argue that when you're doing what you love, you're naturally in a state of abundance and joy, which then attracts more good things into your life.
So it's not just about manifesting material things, it's about aligning with your passions and purpose.
Exactly. It's about living a life that feels fulfilling and aligned with your soul's true desires. And they even encourage you to take action as if your desires have already manifested.
What do you mean by that? Like if I want a new car, should I go test drive one even though I can't afford it yet?
Well, they don't necessarily recommend going into debt. But the idea is to start acting in ways that align with your desired reality. So maybe you start researching different car models, visiting dealerships, or even just imagining yourself driving your dream car. The key is to align your energy with the outcome you desire and take inspired action towards your goals.
So it's about taking those baby steps and trusting that the universe will meet you halfway.
Exactly. They even say that the hows are the domain of the universe. We don't need to know all the steps or figure out every detail. If we can get clear on the what our desires and cultivate the belief that it's possible, the universe will conspire to bring it into our reality.
I love that. It's like taking that leap of faith and trusting that the net will appear.
Precisely. And they emphasize that there are no limits to what we can create. We are unlimited beings with infinite potential.
It's an inspiring message, but it can also be a daunting one. It requires a real shift in perspective to see ourselves as powerful creators rather than victims of circumstance.
It does. And they acknowledge that many people might find this challenging. Our minds are conditioned to believe in limitations, and it can be difficult to break free from those patterns of thinking.
So how do they address that? What do they say to those who are struggling to believe in their own power to create change?
They encourage viewers to question their limiting beliefs and to replace "I can't" with "I can." They also talk about the importance of surrounding yourself with positive influences, whether it's through books, podcasts, or people who inspire and uplift you.
So it's about curating your mental and emotional environment to support your growth and expansion.
Exactly. They suggest that the more you immerse yourself in an environment of positivity and possibility, the easier it becomes to believe in your own power to create the life you desire.
That makes a lot of sense. It's like if you're constantly surrounded by negativity and doubt, it's going to be much harder to maintain a positive mindset and believe in your ability to manifest your dreams.
Right. They also emphasize the importance of being patient with yourself. Changing your thought patterns takes time and effort. It's not about being perfect, it's about progress.
So we need to give ourselves grace and celebrate those small wins along the way.
Absolutely. Every time you catch yourself thinking a negative thought and choose to replace it with a more positive one, you're making progress.
Okay, so we've talked about the importance of gratitude, visualization, following your bliss, and challenging limiting beliefs. What about action? What role does action play in the manifestation process?
That's a crucial point. They make it clear that the law of attraction is not about sitting back and wishing for things to magically appear. It's about aligning your energy with your desires and then taking inspired action toward your goals.
So it's about co-creating with the universe. We do our part, and the universe does its part.
Exactly. They even suggest that the universe likes speed. When you get an inspired idea, don't hesitate. Act on it. Trust your intuition and take that leap of faith.
I love that idea. It's about trusting the flow of life and being open to those opportunities that present themselves. But how do we know if an idea is truly inspired, or if it's just our ego trying to control things?
That's a great question. And they address that by encouraging viewers to pay attention to how they feel. Inspired ideas tend to come with a sense of excitement, joy, and expansion, whereas ideas that are driven by fear or ego tend to feel constricted, heavy, or doubtful.
So it's about tuning into our intuition and discerning between those thoughts that feel expansive and those that feel contractive.
Exactly. They emphasize the importance of cultivating a strong connection with your inner guidance system and trusting your gut feelings.
That's a really important point. It's so easy to get caught up in overthinking and analyzing everything. Sometimes we just need to trust our intuition and go with the flow.
Right. And they remind us that the more we use this secret, the more we'll understand it. It's like a muscle that gets stronger with practice.
So it's not about achieving some kind of mastery overnight. It's about consistently applying these principles and trusting the process.
Exactly. And they make it clear that this knowledge is not meant to be kept secret. It's meant to be shared, to empower others, and to create a more positive and abundant world.
That's beautiful. It's about spreading the love and the knowledge so that more people can experience the joy and abundance that's available to all of us.
They envision a future where people are using their full mental and emotional potential, where limitations are seen as opportunities, and where anything is possible.
It's a pretty inspiring vision, isn't it?
It is, and it raises an important question. If we truly believe in the power of our thoughts to shape our reality, what responsibility do we have to use this power wisely?
That's a really thought-provoking question. It's not just about manifesting our own desires, but also about using this power to create a better world for everyone.
Absolutely. And that leads us to one of the most crucial aspects of the documentary, the concept of resistance. They suggest that resisting something, even if it's negative, can actually give it more energy and make it persist.
Can you give an example of what they mean by that?
They use the example of anti-war movements and how by focusing on what they don't want war, they might be inadvertently contributing to the problem. Instead, they advise focusing on the desired outcome piece.
Ah, I see. So instead of dwelling on what we're trying to avoid, we should be putting our energy into what we want to create.
Exactly. It's about aligning our energy with what we want to see more of in the world.
So instead of being anti-war, be pro-peace.
Precisely. And they apply the same principle to personal challenges. If we're constantly focusing on our debt, our illness, or our relationship problems, we're actually feeding those negative experiences with our energy. And this can create a vicious cycle where we attract more of what we're trying to avoid.
So if I'm constantly worried about money, I'm actually attracting more financial scarcity into my life.
That's what they're suggesting. The key is to shift your focus to what you do want: financial abundance, vibrant health, and loving relationships.
Okay, so it's about turning those I don't wants into I wants. Exactly. It's a subtle but powerful shift in perspective, and it requires a conscious effort to become aware of our thoughts and to choose thoughts that align with our desires.
That makes sense. But it can be challenging to maintain that positive focus, especially when life throws us curveballs.
It is, and they acknowledge that they encourage viewers to be patient with themselves and to celebrate their progress no matter how small.
So it's about acknowledging that we're all works in progress and that it's okay to have setbacks along the way.
Exactly. They also emphasize the importance of feeling good. They say that when we feel good, we're in a state of alignment with our desires, and we're more likely to attract positive experiences into our lives.
So it's not just about thinking positive thoughts. It's about cultivating a positive emotional state.
Yes, it's about embodying that feeling of joy, gratitude, and abundance.
Okay, but what if we're not feeling good? What if we're feeling down, stressed, or anxious?
They suggest acknowledging those negative emotions, allowing yourself to feel them, and then gently guiding yourself back to a place of positivity. So it's not about denying or suppressing our negative emotions. It's about processing them and then shifting our focus back to what feels good.
Exactly. They even offer some practical tips for shifting your emotional state, like listening to uplifting music, spending time in nature, or doing something that brings you joy.
That's really helpful. It's about having those tools and resources in your back pocket so you can pull them out when you need them.
Right. They also remind us that we are not alone in this journey. The universe is conspiring to support us, and there are countless resources available to help us along the way.
So we're not meant to do this alone. We can lean on the support of others and even the universe itself.
Exactly. They encourage us to seek out teachers, mentors, and like-minded individuals who can inspire and support us on our path of growth and expansion.
That's a really beautiful message. It's about recognizing that we're all connected and that we can tap into a collective consciousness of love, support, and abundance.
They leave us with this powerful message of hope and empowerment. You are the creator of your destiny. The pen is in your hand. What will you write?
Whoa, the pen is in your hand.
Yeah.
That's a powerful image to leave us with.
It is.
Like we hold the pen.
Yeah.
And we get to write our own stories.
We do.
It really emphasizes that creative power that we all possess.
Yeah, it does. And it reminds me of something they touched upon earlier.
Okay.
That idea of interconnectedness, you know?
Mm-hmm.
We're not just isolated individuals.
Right.
We're all part of something much larger.
Right. They talked about the universe as this vast energy field.
Exactly.
And we're all like little sparks of energy within that field, constantly interacting and influencing one another.
Exactly. They suggest that when we tap into that universal energy, when we align with the flow of creation, we unlock incredible potential. Mm-hmm. It's like we're drawing power from an unlimited source.
So it's about recognizing that we're not limited by our physical bodies or our past experiences.
Right.
We're connected to something infinite and eternal.
They actually put it beautifully.
Okay.
They remind us that we're not just human beings.
Yeah.
We're spiritual beings.
Okay.
Having a human experience.
I love that.
It's pretty powerful.
It is. Yeah. It's a reminder that we're capable of so much more than we often give ourselves credit for.
Way more.
And they back this up with some pretty inspiring stories.
They do.
Of people who have overcome immense challenges to achieve their dreams.
Like the man who recovered from paralysis after the plane crash.
Yeah.
He defied the doctor's predictions.
Wow.
And refused to believe that he would never walk again.
Right.
He visualized himself walking. And eventually, through sheer willpower and belief, he achieved it.
And the woman who healed herself from breast cancer.
Yeah.
She embraced laughter, gratitude, and a deep faith in her body's ability to heal. Mm-hmm. And she overcame her illness.
Those stories are powerful reminders.
They are.
That we possess an incredible capacity.
Yeah.
For healing and transformation.
Totally. But the documentary doesn't shy away from the fact that there will be times when we experience doubt, fear, resistance.
Of course.
It's part of being human, right?
Totally.
Especially when we're facing setbacks or feeling overwhelmed.
Absolutely. And they offer some really practical advice for navigating those difficult emotions.
Okay.
Instead of trying to suppress or ignore them, they suggest acknowledging them.
Okay.
Allowing yourself to feel them fully.
Yeah.
And then gently shifting your focus back to what you want to create.
So it's about processing those emotions.
Yeah.
Rather than getting stuck in them.
Exactly.
Okay.
They even offer some simple yet effective techniques.
Okay.
Like taking a few deep breaths, going for a walk in nature, or listening to your favorite music.
Right. So it's about having a toolkit of practices that help you shift your emotional state and return to a place of peace and positivity.
Exactly. It's so important to have those go-to practices when you feel yourself getting pulled into negativity.
Yeah. And they also emphasize the importance of self-care.
Yes. They make it very clear that we can't pour from an empty cup.
Right.
We need to nourish ourselves physically, emotionally, spiritually, in order to effectively manifest our desires and create the life that we want.
So it's about recognizing that self-care isn't selfish.
Right.
It's essential for our well-being and our ability to show up fully in the world.
Absolutely. And they encourage us to be patient with ourselves.
Okay.
They remind us that change takes time.
Yeah.
And it's important to celebrate our progress along the way.
Yeah, it's like that saying, Rome wasn't built in a day.
Exactly.
Real transformation requires consistent effort and a willingness to keep going even when things get tough.
Absolutely. And they remind us that we're not alone in this journey.
Right.
There are countless resources available to support us. Books, teachers, mentors, communities.
Yeah.
We don't have to figure it all out on our own.
It's about reaching out for help when we need it.
Yeah. Surrounding ourselves with positive influences and believing in our ability to create the life we desire.
They've given us a lot to think about with this secret.
They really have.
Yeah.
So what does this all mean for you listening right now?
Right.
This documentary challenges us to consider the power of our thoughts and the responsibility that comes with it.
It does.
It encourages us to cultivate a positive mindset,
Yeah.
to practice gratitude, to visualize our desires,
Yeah.
and to take inspired action towards our goals.
It reminds us that we are not limited by our past experiences,
Right.
our circumstances, or our perceived limitations.
Right.
We have the power within us to create a life of abundance, joy, and fulfillment.
The documentary ends with a simple yet powerful message.
Yeah.
The power is in your hands. What will you create?
It's a question worth pondering.
It really is. And remember,
Yeah.
you have the pen and you get to write your own story.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.